Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a good one. This sure is a beautiful day and got some news here that's really going to help you see that Aptera really is getting ready to produce 50 vehicles. So let's go ahead and get into it right now. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here. We welcome everybody to Free Power. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Aptera is making some moves, and we're actually going to talk about a couple of things. One is Aptera is actually in line to build 50 vehicles, and I'm going to show you some reasons why, and also why Aptera is really good for the electrical grid. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first video. Let's get into it, and then we will discuss it and go from there. All right, let's get into it.
We've built a mission-driven community, an amazing amount of people that are following us on social, a million plus, having close to 50,000 reservations now is quite exciting. And as we look to list the company on the NASDAQ tomorrow, having over 20,000 existing investors is just amazing. We're scalable and capital light. Getting this vehicle to production is just a much easier task than what you've seen in other bigger automotive programs. And we're really building a new category of transportation. A vehicle that produces its own fuel just hasn't existed. Something that can take care of most of your daily driving with just the power of the sun, really enabled through lightweight aerodynamics. And it's something that it would be really difficult for somebody else to step into.
Right. Yeah. How has the vehicle been received in the EV landscape? Or how many orders we got? What are we dealing with here?
Yeah, close to $2 billion in reservations now. Is exciting to think about delivering on. And we opened up our accelerator slots. Thank you to all those accelerators who are listening out there. It was amazing to have an average investment of over $20,000 for each of those slots. So getting this vehicle into people's hands is really the mission now. We know that people want them. We have a passionate community that's excited to get them and drive them and show their friends and spread the Aptera love. And now it's all about just getting the vehicle built.
So as Chris brought out that they have over, about 50,000 reservations for the Aptera. And the next step that he brought out, and this is their mission, that they are going to accomplish this to get the vehicle in their hands. So we know that there's at least 2,000 people that were in that accelerator event and that they are going to get the vehicles into their hands first. But are they going to stop there? Well, of course not, because they have about $2 billion worth of revenue from the vehicles that they're going to produce for all those that want an Aptera. And we know that once they get the Aptera into the people's hands, that's just going to generate a flame for information about the Aptera vehicle. The main reason why is because, as he said, they're producing a new category of vehicles. This vehicle produces its own power. You get free power from this vehicle because of the solar panels. And so that's what we're going to talk about next. And also how it doesn't tax the grid. And we're going to talk about that as well. So let's check this next video out, which actually talks about the solar power that the Aptera produces.
Totally. Well, let's circle back to the solar power. How impactful is that if you were a future Aptera customer?
In sunny locations, it's amazing to think of this vehicle providing over 10,000 miles of free driving to each Aptera owner per year. That's 1,000 miles per month in the summer, which is
crazy.
Just amazing. From the grid's perspective, having less stress on the grid is an amazing attribute of the Aptera. Lots of conversations around how do we spread EV adoption in general. California had an all-electric vehicle mandate by 2035. And that means that there's going to be a lot of electric vehicles charging in California. Other states have similar ambitions. California is not ready from a grid perspective to have that many EVs charging on its grid. There needs to be a better way, and Aptera is that way. If all of your vehicle charging comes from the sun, you don't need to stress the grid. And if you do end up driving more than your solar power is producing, you can plug it in with a 110 extension cord in your garage. You don't have to have any fancy charging infrastructure, and you can get over 150 miles a night back into your Aptera, which is pretty cool.
And most drivers may not be focused or worried about whether or not they're stressing the grid, right? But it removes the friction from owning it. So in my household, I have 3 EVs and I have 2 chargers, and we're still, playing musical chargers with all the vehicles. So to have one of those EVs that I just don't have to charge, I don't have to think about, I just park it in the sun and drive it, and it really removes the friction from owning an EV.
All right, once again, so as Steve brought out, that having a solar-powered vehicle, the Aptera, can give you up to 40 miles of range a day in the sunny climates in the United States, or around the world for that fact. But you have to take this under consideration that the world is moving towards EVs. That is going to happen. And if you're retired, 9 times out of 10, you will never charge your Aptera, because, how often do you go out when you're retired? You probably go to the doctor, maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months, depending. Or even better yet, you go to the grocery store probably once a week, maybe twice a week. And so if you're in a sunny climate and you're driving your Aptera, you will never have to charge it, because if your Aptera is sitting in the sun for a week, you're going to have 280 miles of range just from the solar power. Of course, if you subtract 40 from that, that leaves you 240 miles of range if you drive 40 miles within that week. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to do that every week. But also, he brings up another good point where actually Steve Fambro did, and that is that the world is moving towards electrified vehicles, battery-powered vehicles. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's on you. But according to the statistics, it shows that is actually what's happening. I got some pictures here. Let me show this to you. Okay, this is showing the EV sales according Kelley Blue Book, and they show that actually the EV market is growing by about 50,000 per year, according to this, except for this year. It's going to make a big jump. It's going to go from, let me see, so for fourth quarter for 2024, it's a little bit more than 350,000. But here in the third quarter of 2025, it's already at 437,000. So by the end of the year, it's going to be over 450,000. So that's 100,000 vehicle jump between 2024 and 2025. I'm sorry, those were for the sales of the US EV market only. Also, this graph right here also shows how the jump in EV sales are going. Last year, if you look at the blue line, that's a basic EV battery vehicle plug-in, and the green line is the hybrid plug-in vehicles. But you can see there are 10 million for 2024 that's been sold for the battery-powered vehicles. In 2025, they're projecting 13.6 million to be sold. So that trend is going to keep going up, regardless of what you think. There are people that love their gas-powered cars, which is fine. But everything's going to be moving toward battery-powered vehicles. And why am I bringing that point out? Well, Steve Fambro brought out that they have 3 electric vehicles. And just imagine, okay, you got a family, you got 3 electric vehicles, and what he brought out is that, okay, everybody, they're playing musical chairs with who gets to use the electric plug to charge their vehicle up. But with the Aptera, you don't have to worry about that. So if every family has 3 electric vehicles, who's going to get to plug their vehicle in? No doubt it's going to be dad who gets to plug his in first because he's got to go to work. Mom, she's going to get hers plugged in next because 9 times out of 10, she's going to have to go to work and to the grocery store and all these other things. And if you're a child in the family, well, guess what? You're going to get yours plugged in later. So if an Aptera is in that family, they have one Aptera, that's one vehicle they don't have to worry about plugging in. Plus, also, you could use a regular 110 outlet to plug in your vehicle. That's, when you have to set up a 220 charger for your electric vehicle, you're going to spend at least about $3,000, $2,500 at least. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about with the Aptera. You could plug it into a regular 110 outlet. But I also said that I was going to show why they are building 50 vehicles. And let me just show this to you. I just recently downloaded this picture not too long ago, and you could see here, I already counted these up, and there's 7 battery packs in a row. So there's 3 rows, so 14 in each, well, there's 2 in each stack. So 14 times 3, that comes to 42 packs. So you say, hey, that's not 50. Well, yeah, of course, they already built 5 of the vehicles. And also, we know that those are going to be for validation reasons and crash testing. So if you count the 5 vehicles that's already built, then of course, so 42 and 5, that's 47. So that's still close to 50. And there's battery packs probably on this site that we can't even see. So there you go. They already got everything set up to go ahead and build 50 vehicles. But anyway, the main thing is, how do you feel about what's going on? Aptera is going to get these vehicles into people's hands because they know that that's what's going to make everything jumpstart their company and get it rolling. So I think this is fantastic. I think they're doing an awesome job. And all I can say is, Aptera, keep rolling. You got me on board. And hopefully a lot of other people are going to be on board. But if you're not, that's okay too. Everybody not going to want an Aptera, and that's understandable. But I know I can't wait to get my hands on mine, and I can start driving it around to show everybody that solar power is the next step in having your vehicle powered. So having it powered by the sun for free, that's just an awesome thought to me. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and end it right here. So you guys, y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I can't wait to come out with the next video. So we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.